Alright boys, we're releasing our first podcast. I was like, hey, if I'm outside in San Francisco, meeting people all the time, getting lessons from them, why not record it and share it to everyone? So for this first one, I was meeting my friend called Kashyab, who is the co-founder and CEO of Verbiflow, who is a YC-backed company. I've added the company down in the description. If you want to book a meeting with them, you can do it. I'm also trying to get us a sweet promo code. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, let's dive into the first episode.
That book.
They're not giving a fuck.
Yeah. It's a good book, I've heard.
My brother is here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's here on like a vacation for a few days.
Okay.
So that's his stuff.
Oh, that's his book. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
But yeah, I thought
Did you kick everyone out the house?
no, he's done mission.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. I was like,
working.
damn, dude, sorry.
No, but I was like, we haven't seen each other since, or we seen each other once.
All right.
Since the Delft times.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was like, you know what? Let me catch up with Kashyab.
Yep.
And then I was like, dude, let's just record it instead.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, why not? That's true.
Do you go by Kashyab or do you go by Cash?
A lot of people call me KB.
Oh, KB.
That's a nickname I got from when I was in college here. But
Okay.
since it's much easier than Kashyab, right?
Kashyab, yeah.
Yeah, but usually either KB or Kashyab. Yeah, nothing else.
No one calls you Cash?
Some people do, actually.
people
That's another third one. Some people do that, yeah, because that's also like sick, you know. It's
kinda
just
cool.
Cash. What's up? Yeah, that also works. Yeah, whatever.
And where did you go to university? Like, did you go here in California? Or
No, I went to Purdue.
Which is where?
Purdue University in Indiana. It's in the Midwest in the U.S.
Okay.
So it's near. I don't know if you heard of Chicago.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Chicago, right? So Chicago is in the state of Illinois. Right next to the state of Illinois is Indiana.
Okay.
Right? Indiana is a state in the Midwest, and Purdue University is there.
And is that also where you met, like Rashi, the?
Yeah, I met Rishi actually when I came here. I didn't meet him in college. I met him when I was working. I'd come to San Francisco around 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So when I got my job here, I was working with him at the same place, and that's how we met.
Yeah. So you two met here before you guys joined YC.
Yes, yeah. So we didn't know each other before. I joined this job in SF at a YC startup, and that's how we actually met each other and then started working together.
And how did you guys like? What was the okay, now fuck it, let's apply to YC.
I think we always had that thing. Like I had not applied to YC before coming here, but I always like watched startup school kind of things. I watched the YouTube channels. I read the program, like, you know, the typical cliche stuff, but it's true. I mean, like, I read Pogram's essays, and I was a big fan. I was huge on Hacker News too. I used to always like keep on like lurking in Hacker News. So I knew about YC for a long time, since probably high school or somewhere around there. And then after that, he actually told me he was applying to YC.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe I should apply too. That makes kind of sense. We applied separately, right? We applied separately, and then I literally applied on the last day. I think this was the summer 24 batch, basically. So I would have been in the same batch, I believe, as Delve.
Yeah.
Right? So I applied for that batch, but we got waitlisted. Like, I got waitlisted. That means that they basically, I don't know what it means. I don't know if it's like a rejection or, hey, we'll evaluate you later. Usually they do that if you apply too late. And I literally applied like 30 minutes before the thing closed. So I got like waitlisted. Next time we applied, we ended up applying together.
They probably said like, hey, if someone drops off, then you can come on, like, since you're on the wait list.
Usually that depends, because how it works in YC is that I've not seen anyone do that specifically. Like, if someone drops off, we'll take you, kind of a thing. I do know a couple friends who did say no to YC. They ended up just not wanting to do it at the time.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they got their place taken by someone else. Because usually how YC works is, I believe, like, if you are good, you will get in. But if you say no or something like that, they're not just going to like fill you with someone else just to meet a number.
Yeah.
They're not like, okay, we need to hit 250 this time. It's like, okay, we need good people, and we're going to pick like the best.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a cap every batch.
Yeah.
But they're not just going to replace it with someone just because, that person said no.
And do you remember what 2 ideas you and him applied to?
I don't know what idea he applied for. I don't remember. Oh no, I think I do. Yeah, he applied for something under product analytics. LLMs were just kind of popular at the time. This was around the time of like GPT 4.5. It was still pretty bad, honestly. But it was like, okay, there's some promise here. What he was doing is like, he would basically capture company's session recordings. So let's say someone's using your product. It'll capture everything a user does on your product, and then an LLM would analyze it and give you insights about what your customers are doing. Nowadays, this is pretty common.
And this is kind of like similar to Post-Talk, right?
Exactly. Post-Talk, like at that time, Post-Talk was not doing this. They were capturing the sessions, but they were just giving it to you and you had to analyze it.
Okay.
But then he had come up with the idea saying, hey, no, why don't we just analyze it using LLMs, right? To find all kinds of useful insights. That was his idea. My idea was, it was like super bad, but it was like, at the time I was at a YC startup. The most kind of worst part about it, one of the worst things was databases. Databases was royally screwed. So I thought, hey, I'll apply for an idea where like we're a product that helps you optimize your existing databases. Like we're a service/product, right? Our product will help you optimize your database so it's much faster for your customers, XYZ, right? So that was my idea. It's probably not a good idea, but at the time I was like, this is the problem I'm most intimate with right now over the past 3 months. So I was like, maybe there's something here, I don't know.
And then you two just scrapped that and
we scrapped it
to do Verbiflow instead?
We actually started with customer success.
Oh yeah.
Because we were like, customer success is kind of like, I don't know, they get treated like crap and they have the least amount of software. So our idea at the time was, hey, why is there no customer success software that's really good, that tells you when a customer is going to churn? Simple idea. Just like, how am I going to know if a customer is going to churn? That was our idea. And we'll give you a metric for that. At the time, we're like kind of naive. I mean, we still are naive in many ways, which is good and bad. But we're like, okay, hey, let's just do this. But then we kind of, the more we dug into the problem, the more we figured out that it was not actually that there's no customer success software. There's a lot of them out there. It's just that customer success as a role is usually looked at as a cost center by the company. So in go-to-market, customer success, unfortunately, right, is usually in a lot of companies, this is what we found, is at the bottom of priority.
Oh yeah.
Sales and marketing is usually 1-2, like 1A, 1B. And then after that, support even is much more higher than customer success. And I mean, it just didn't end up working. And that's when we kind of were thinking of different ideas.
But that's weird because I feel like at Delve or like at several of like the companies that's going good, customer success is a big part of their success. Like happy customers lead to word of mouth, lead to like they speaking good about your product to their friends. And then that's just something that builds.
I agree. So I think the thing is like, I think any idea, at least most ideas, it's not necessarily about if it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
Like in our case, it's not that the idea is wrong, right? Like that idea seems right. Like if you go out and tell companies, hey, I will help you predict when customers are going to churn and help you minimize that. I mean, most companies at Series A Plus are going to probably be interested in that, right? It's just that once you have that base, how you execute on that idea is also super important. Yeah. There are companies that do this wildly differently. Like we thought of this idea, we focus on customer success. Look at another person, Pylon. Pylon's a great company, Series B company, they're doing amazing. They executed from a different mindset. They're like, hey, let's start with support. And then like support, let's help you with your support volume. And then let's go to customer success and help them too. Right? That's a different style of execution. That's a different like plan of execution. And that worked really well for them because they were already so heavy in support that extending to success was pretty easy.
Yeah. So did you switch during your batch?
Yes.
And what did they say? Like they brought you in for one idea?
No, then we switched to another idea, which was I would say it's not a tar pit idea, like what YC calls a tar pit idea, but
What's a tar pit idea?
tar pit idea is basically like, it's an idea that seems really like, oh hey, yeah, everyone should have this kind of problem. It seems like a really good idea, but when you delve into the details, like I'll give you a like typical example. This was true in social media era. Like in the social media era, when Facebook and all these came up, like all the companies were trying to build the next social network, or trying to build a bill splitting app, right? It's just problems everyone faces. So they're like, oh, this is a great idea, let me try it. And usually the problem is not that it's not a good idea, it's just that the way to change the user's behavior from what they're doing is just too hard, and nobody has gotten a good way to do this, right? So this is a tar pit idea. So after we were like, okay, customer success is not a good idea, then we thought of, hey, let's build an AI native CRM.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're like, okay, CRM is an idea where I think it's definitely possible. Like companies like Monaco and Lightfield, there's a lot of new companies doing it. I think the best who's doing it right now is Attio, probably. They're doing a great job. I love what Attio is doing, but we thought, hey, like Attio's all right. At the time, they were not that great. Like, of course, we are like YC. The YC batch is generally like, I would say like 3, 4, 5 months ahead in terms of technology, like bleeding edge. That number may be lower now. Like at that time, it was true. So we're like, all of these CRMs suck. Let's just build one that basically is like a self-driving CRM. Like you don't have to like manually enter stuff in. It'll just be done for you from your meeting notes and your Slack and everything. And Delve was actually a start. Like they were like, okay,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so Delve was actually a start for that. But they told us clearly, like, hey, we're not gonna rip out our HubSpot because HubSpot is too valuable.
Yeah.
If we rip it out with something and that thing fails, a CRM failing is like, especially for a Series A plus company, it's like horrible. Detrimental, like really bad. It's business critical software, right? It's almost impossible to operate without for your go-to-market at that stage and above. So we were like, okay, we won't build a CRM right now. We'll build it, but then what we will do is we'll sync everything for you to your HubSpot, right? And then we'll give you insights and intelligence and good querying and all that stuff. We did that, but then as we started doing that, a lot of people, we figured out one thing, which is the amount of things people expect a CRM to do is like massive.
Yeah.
And we were also not super experienced at the time. Like I was first time founder, my co-founders, it's the second time.
Okay.
But we were not as experienced enough to think about when to say no to people. Like, you know, when someone asks you for something.
To please them all the time.
Yes. Wanted to like please them on every ground, which is one of the worst things you can do.
Yeah.
I would say, right? I think it's good to have an opinion and stand by that opinion. We've learned this over time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we made that mistake. So then we're like, oh my God, we have to build like 6,000 things just for people to be
happy.
Like not even happy, just for them to be like, okay, this is something we would consider.
Yeah.
And that was the problem. But yeah.
So was this switch during the batch?
Yes. So we started batch in January.
Okay.
I would say we switched around February.
And how did you even get in contact with Delve?
They got in contact with us.
Okay.
As you can imagine, right? Like we were new YC. So they did this growth hack where they'd host dinners.
Yeah.
And at the time, it was, I believe, just Karun and Celine and a handful of others. They were in their old office in Montgomery Street.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, they were grinding. They were living together in Mission Bay.
Okay.
Right? Celine and Karun were living together. So we visited their apartment and went for the dinner. It was just us and 2 other YC companies. So it was a pretty small group.
Yeah.
So then that's how we kind of, we start conversating, getting to know each other more, all that stuff. And then we literally onboarded them on the spot right there. And then I was like, okay, these guys are awesome. And then we continued to kind of foster a relationship from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I mean, they grew to crazy heights. But yeah.
So you switched to the first idea or to the second idea in February, and then when did you decide to switch to like what Verbiflow is?
Yeah, I think CRM, since it was so wide in terms of the amount of, like, the product was so wide, like you need to keep customer success people happy, marketing has
Yeah.
specific function, sales this. We're like, okay, let's try to just like focus on one specific niche, because
Yeah.
otherwise we're gonna go crazy. And this is before coding agents were useful, so we were writing all the code.
Yeah.
We're still shipping a crap ton, but we're still writing all the code. So then after that, we're like, okay, let's just focus on. We got another customer just through LinkedIn outbound. And we were doing LinkedIn outbound manually at this time. Like, this is such a pain. Like, I'm literally just copy pasting this template
Yeah.
for my notes and doing this like constantly. And we ended up like getting a customer who's like still a customer of ours, in fact, but they're like based in Utah. It was this like really cool guy. He was like quite older.
Yeah.
Right. He's a CRO at a physical security certification company.
Okay.
This is when you find out, like, I feel a lot of times like we're in a bubble here, because there's
100%.
so many companies
100%.
you would never even believe what they do, and they're doing great business.
Yeah.
They've been doing business for years and they're doing great.
On that topic, like I was talking to my brother yesterday. He works at like one of the big four back in Sweden, and he said, their team, they're just getting started with ChatGPT now.
Wow.
And then it's like, one of the big four consulting firms, and he said he was in the forefront of like AI over there, but here it's like that's a drop in the water.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's also like so many people here are so focused on the customers here as well, like US customers or like San Francisco customers.
Yep.
But as you say, like there's so much more.
Yes.
A guy in Utah, a CRO.
Yeah, exactly. And who's still a customer to this day.
Yeah.
And I mean, their business is doing well. They're really good. And they actually came up with the idea where like, oh, they needed to find leads and reach out to them. And then that's when we're like, oh, okay, this is an interesting idea. That was one. Second one was we got a group message in the WhatsApp group chat for YC saying, hey, one of our partners is like, hey, this YC company is looking for all the people who are attending this conference and they're willing to pay X amount. We're like, oh shit, okay. And then we're like, oh, we can do that. And then we did it quickly. We like literally went to the website, reverse engineered their API, and then like found out the attendee list from there, and then like reached out to that company. Then we're like, oh, okay, maybe there's something here. Like this person wants leads, this person wants leads. So that's kind of how we fell into this idea. And we were genuinely just focused on lead search.
Yeah.
Basically, if you're a company and you need to find new customers, your next 50, 100, 200 customers, how are you going to find them? So we'll help you find them.
So, like, how does it work when you decide to switch an idea and you're a YC startup? Like, the partner you have, do they get involved? Like, do you use them before you change the idea, or is it just like you choose, it's your company?
It's your company. Like, that's one of the great things about YC. I mean, they're not here to like babysit you. Yeah, it's like you make your decisions. They will give guidance and suggestions, but at the end of the day, it's still up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was no drama with you like switching.
No, I think it's quite common in YC like to pivot.
Yeah.
Like pivoting is quite common. Now it depends on how much of a pivot are you doing. For instance, if you're going from like insurance to dev tools, that's a huge pivot.
Yeah.
It's like completely different market, everything. But if you're going from like CRM to like lead gen, that's a pivot, but it's not that crazy.
Yeah. Now you guys are doing outbound, like helping several companies. I see even like helped like Llama Index.
Yep.
That's like a common connection we have.
Hussein. Hussein. Yep. Shout out to Hussein.
Shout out to Hussein. There are like how's that going? Everything is going good.
It's going well. Yeah, I think it's going. It took us a while to kind of get into a stride of like, okay, what do we want to actually help companies with?
Yeah.
And I think we kind of kept refining down on that idea. We kept trying to go too wide. And it was really problematic for us. But with AI getting so good, right? Like now, like AI is doing like 95% of my work, basically 90%.
Yeah.
I'm just like a manager. managing all my agents. But since it's doing so much of my work, like now we're able to help customers a whole lot more than we were before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think it's been going really well. Yeah.
Do you think like going this broad is a mistake that many companies or like startups do, that they have this idea where like in their mind they're 10 steps ahead, but they should actually start with like 2 steps ahead, and instead of trying to please a problem for everything, they should hone down and please a problem for something first?
I think in startups it's really hard to give advice to people, because it's like almost anything you can say, the counter almost always works too. Like
Yeah.
there's an example of the counter working.
Yeah.
But I would say you're right. Like I think the reason people say that is because like you're right. Like you should try to, like, your first instance of the product, your first version that you sell to people, it should be something that's so easy to understand what it does.
Yeah.
And if it's doing so many things, you're making it harder for your buyer to understand what you exactly do. So let's say, for instance, you're selling whatever, a CRM, right?
Yeah.
Right. If you're selling just a general CRM, AI native or whatever it is, that's one way to sell it. Some people, it'll work for them, like Attio, it worked for them, right? But Attio, I believe what they did is they focused on a specific market first, like a segment. Like they focused on, I believe it was private equity or something like that.
Okay.
I forget. I watched their story a while back, but they focus on a specific segment. So if you're going super broad, you want to make sure that you focus on a specific market. If you're niche, then of course you don't need to pick a specific market, because your market anyway is probably going to be small.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I would say just try to nail down your messaging so that it's really easy to understand what you do. If people are interested, they're interested. Otherwise, just move on.
Yeah, no, that's true. What has your experience been with? Because we both, I was working at Delve. We were a customer of you guys back then. Like as an out, I only know the inside. Like, what was the outside reaction? Like, obviously we were more than just partner. Like, I consider you as a friend as well.
Of course.
Like, what was the first reaction? Like,
I think at first I was just like, oh, it's just like something like,
right?
It's just something small. Like, I was like, fine, like, okay, it's not a big deal. And then I was like, okay. And then after that, like, I kept, like, I'm quite active on X, right? But I kept seeing it on X.
Yeah, it blew up.
And it blew, like, it really, really blew up. And I think people took it way too overboard, but
and that's X, like, that's social media.
That's true.
In general.
That's true. But yeah, I think people took it overboard, but yeah, I think it blew the hell up, and it was like, wow, okay, damn.
It's crazy. Like, I think that actually like majorly changed the compliance scene, or like the compliance market.
Really?
The compliance market, in the sense of now, like people are all of a sudden interested in the like auditors as well, but also like even outside. I was talking to like a company that wanted me to join them, and they were like, you know, after this whole thing, like all of a sudden we got like scared and we started looking at our vendors, etc. But yeah, it just changed, and it's also kind of cool how, like, obviously Delve had so many customers,
Right.
and not like just like that, all of these customers wanted to go to another, like they still need compliance, and it's crazy how like people come up from that. Like, I think OneLead is like one of the companies that just grew to infinity from that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they did, 100% did.
And like
I mean, they're a customer right now. OneLead is a customer.
Yeah, and it's probably going great.
Yep.
Because if I were them, I would just do what they probably are already doing. Like, okay, it went great for Delve. They're a compliance platform. We're also a compliance platform. Which vendors do they use? Like, try to find the golden nuggets.
Yep.
And see, like, all right, how do we replicate it?
Yep.
And like Verbiflow already knew how to do outbound in the compliance industry.
Yes.
Like, I was looking at our like Wakas, who does their like
ads.
Like, he was helping us with at Delve as well.
Yes, correct. Yep.
So he's probably like going really, really good for them.
Yeah, I spoke to him a while back. He's doing amazing as well. Yeah.
They're in Amsterdam, right?
Yeah, I think they're split. Like one co-founder, I believe, is in SF, or they
Yeah.
make their way to SF often, and then they're in Amsterdam as well. Yes.
You know what I heard? I heard you're releasing a new, maybe you even have released it, but I heard you're releasing a new like outbound call feature.
Oh yeah. So like code calling, basically. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Is it happening? Is it
It's still in like we're still keeping it for select customers
okay?
because like there's a lot of things involved with calling, but yeah, I think code calling is one of the most underrated like outbound tools out there because it's so uncomfortable. Nobody wants to do it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And because it's kind of interesting. There are so many laws around it. Like you can't just spam a person with cold calls, I'm assuming.
No, that's not true.
Is it not true?
Well, it's true to some extent, but it's like code calling is not good. Like you can just like use an AI to code call people. That's a violation.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I
Yes,
was meaning.
like we don't do that. Like we don't do an AI code caller because first of all, that's a violation. Second of all, honestly, that doesn't work well. Like we've tried it in the past ourselves, like for our own company, just because we like to try things, see if it works or not. But a human being behind the phone is still kind of useful.
I've seen that with Artisan. I believe they went super hard into
Yep.
cold calling with AI, and now they pivoted to kind of, like I just saw an ad on my
Yep.
way home, like Ava BDR just touched grass. Now they are probably doing something similar. that.
Yeah. So I think them and the kind of the start of this space was 11x.
Okay.
11x was like, yeah, I think you probably remember. They came out and they were like huge. They raised 50 million from A16Z. It's a really interesting idea. They were doing like digital bots or whatever it is to digital employees, right? They came out with this kind of marketing and idea like I think it was in 2024.
Yeah.
And AI was still early at this time. But then what happened was with 11x was, I mean, supposedly a lot of churn, like 70% churn or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
At least that's what I heard. I'm not sure, maybe wrong, but they had crazy amounts of churn, and that's the whole AI SDR wave kind of died there.
Yeah.
Like people's first expectation was like left a sour taste in their mouth. They were not happy with it. So for us, we wanted to stay as far away from being thought of in people's minds as that. So we kind of made a change in how we kind of like market ourselves to people, or even help like how people think about us.
Yeah.
We don't want to be thought of like as a spam machine.
Yeah.
Because that's not what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to actually create good infrastructure for your outbound motion to keep running and make sure it's running like and evolving constantly.
Would you say you're like quality over quantity?
Yes.
When most of the other like competitors or people in the space are probably quality or quantity over quality.
I think people are understanding quality a bit more, but I would always say it's a hybrid. It's never one or the other. Like I have a good friend who was like who I worked with before, and he was like a SDR manager.
Yeah.
He used to manage like a team of SDRs. Super smart guy, right? And he basically told me like, I think focusing too much on quality is bad, because what that really means is that, okay, quality just means I'm not spamming like 10,000 people, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people take it to the extreme. They're like, okay, I'm going to specifically target so specific, and that list ends up being like 50 or 20 people. If the list of people you're reaching out to is too small, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Like I think Alex Hormozy has this famous thing, right? Like quantity is a quality of its own.
Yeah.
Like quantity is a quality of its own. It's a good saying, because basically you still need a lot of volume. Like that's how you do it in sales. Like it's a volume game. You need to keep reaching out every single day, but you need to make sure that volume is quality still. And if you're in a market where you have a lot of people you can reach out to, right? Like for a compliance person or whatever, like maybe dev tools, like these are big industries. You can reach out to so many companies.
Yeah.
So many. If you're in, I don't know, like HVAC automation some software around that. Maybe there's like 1,000 companies. Then I would say, honestly, like, forget about outbound. Like, you can have outbound running, but it's a lower priority. You should just go to those 1,000 companies and like meet them in person and do whatever you can, because it's such a small amount of people.
Yeah. What customers do you go for? Is there a specific size?
Yes. So over time, we've learned this a lot. Definitely Series A or above.
Okay.
And willing to spend at least, already spending or willing to spend at least $3,000 a month.
And who are you like? Who would you be targeting there?
So yeah, that's a great question. We learned this the hard way, but initially we were reaching out to a lot of head of sales.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for us, a lot of head of sales are, this is not true of everyone, but in a lot of companies that we reached out to, they are not as on the bleeding edge as head of growth, right?
Yeah.
Or growth people. Growth people are a lot more on the bleeding edge, meaning like they're good first adopters. Like, they want to adopt new tools, gain an edge over XYZ. Like, head of sales is the opposite. We've seen, like, they like to keep things simple, which is not bad. They like to keep things simple and just like tried and true philosophy. Go, okay, let's reach out to 10,000 people every month. Let's just keep doing that. Like, they don't like to change things up a lot, right? Not true of everyone, but that's what we saw. And that's why we decided to like focus in on growth teams. Now, growth, you can argue, is a function of marketing, not even sales. But growth does run a lot of outbound, right? They do a lot of outbound for partnerships, for whatever, like creator content, for like new customers in general, right?
Yeah.
They do a lot of these things, and they are also responsible for, bringing in pipeline. Maybe it's an MQL instead of an SQL, but still, like, they also do outbound.
Yeah, and that's kind of an interesting point on like the growth definition in general, because I feel like it's always different depending on the person I speak to, because there is marketing, there is sales, and there is growth. Like, or some people say growth is marketing.
I don't know.
I think growth at the moment is just hype, or like it's something it's something a company needs, but the specific definition, like, I define it as the person who's in the middle of marketing and sales.
Yes.
And kind of like make sure everything runs in the same direction.
I agree. I think growth is here to stay. I don't see it going. And most of the growth people I've met are like very smart people. Like, they're very technically capable too.
Yeah.
Right. They're getting their hands dirty and stuff. Like, they're doing like these long, whatever, like they're creating, I think people think of them as honestly always as just like hype, but they're not just hype. They're not just marketing like and sales, but they're also like, okay, they're using a lot of tools, the best tools to get things done. I don't know which company started this thing with growth. I assume it's Facebook, because that's the first example I know of like growth person, but Facebook did it in a very different way. I think they're consumers, so it makes sense, user growth. But in B2B, I don't know who started this.
All the companies wants to grow.
Yes.
So they need a growth person in there to be able to do that.
Yes, correct. Yep.
So you're helping people with cold outreach.
Yes.
But you're not using an AI to actually call them.
No.
What's this new feature that?
So as we said, we're infrastructure. What that means is like, okay, like I think a common thing nowadays is like, I don't know if you've heard the role of a GTM engineer.
Yeah.
Basically, the way we can help companies is we are basically that for you. What that means is like we'll manage all the operational work, all the maintenance burden, all the infrastructure. Infrastructure just means like there's a ton of things you need to set up for outbound if you've never done it before, or even if you have done it, keeping on top of it is a nightmare, because most platforms don't do a good job of it. So you don't kind of have to worry about that. All you have to worry about as a growth person is the best thing you have is your creative ideas, right? Like your growth ideas, your creative ideas. Hey, let's reach out to XYZ. Hey, let's do a campaign on this. Like that, we can't replace for you, right? We can help you with that too, but like you already have a good like feel for that. So how you want to execute that on the outbound side is where we come in. We'll help you execute your ideas and make them come to life ASAP, right? And we have basically an agent that does all this work, which is, there's a ton of work, right, that happens in the background, setting up your mailboxes, connecting your LinkedIn accounts, making sure things are sending properly, making sure you're not like, if you're reaching like someone's mailbox and they're triggering you as spam, that we're catching those things, and then notifying the person properly. Like, there's a lot of things involved. And then also, when you're reaching out to a person, have you spoken to them before?
Yeah.
Right? If you've spoken to them before, reaching out cold may sound weird. Yeah. How do you actually reach out? How do you, what's a good hook or an opener? Right? Like all the copy related stuff. So there's a science to it, but we help with maintaining and doing all that for you. But with things like cold calls, like cold calling is something where, like, if a human being is doing it, we're not going to do that for you. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure we provision the phone numbers, make sure that they're warmed up, make sure that they're good numbers. If you're calling someone, it shows up in the same area code as them. So it seems like it's someone who's near you is calling. These are all small, like, tricky techniques, but they do work, right? And then, like,
when, like, most of the people that call me gets like, there's an AI answering it, and you have to kind of explain.
That's a good point.
Have you like figured out a hack of how to?
There is a hack. One is there's these services that let you do FaceTime calls.
Oh, okay.
So what we'll do is, like, if you're on this is an iPhone feature, by the way, which got rolled out in January of this year.
Okay.
In fact, it caused a lot of problems because a lot of people, like, their pickup rates went down. So, like, people were not picking up as much because their AI assistant was screening it for them.
Yeah.
But of course, like, the way, like, I look at outbound is it's very much a game of arbitrage and also a game of, like, cat and mouse. What that means is, like, something's always trending right now.
Yeah.
For instance, right now it may be like, this is not even outbound, this is go-to-market in general. It's like you're trying to figure out a hack, and then you're trying to use that hack, and then everyone will start doing it. That's when you need to go and figure something else out. Like, for instance, the donut thing, right? Which Delve started doing.
Yeah.
Donut thing was something no one was doing. You guys started doing, maybe someone was doing it. Someone would probably say that, but no one was doing it. You guys made it popular. Everyone started doing it. When everyone starts doing it, it's kind of meaningless. You should do what no one is doing. In fact, if everyone's doing it, you should probably go the other way, right? So in outbound right now, everyone was doing email, right? So then email is like horrible.
Yeah.
Now everyone started doing LinkedIn. Now LinkedIn still, like, not everyone has started doing it, but it's getting up there. LinkedIn is going to become bad. Then they'll start doing maybe cold calls or WhatsApps or Telegrams or at SMS.
Yeah.
Then it'll go back to email again. So, like, it's constantly, like,
changing.
Like, that's what happens.
You know what I think is, like, the kind of the bad thing that's happening with LinkedIn at the moment? It's becoming this kind of social media. It was created for people to actually, create value, for connections, for you to connect with people that you actually can create value with. But now, especially when they rolled out, shorts on their platform as well, I feel like the feed is mostly either AI slop or a selfie of three people that doesn't really, like, and this might come from there being, so many people now getting into LinkedIn. But I think that LinkedIn, who sits on this high horse because they own so much data, and, like, it's illegal, like, they make it so hard for you to scrape their data. They kind of have their own monopoly even of connections.
Yep.
That era, I believe, is about to get done or be done in there just needs to be this next thing that
I think there will be another platform app. Like, I see that happening because LinkedIn is just way too slow. Like, their iteration velocity to me is really bad. Like, they change things so slowly.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed a single change in LinkedIn for such a long time.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, like, personally, I think it's a thing which everyone uses because there's no other alternative.
Exactly.
As you said, like, it's a monopoly. Like, most people are on there, blah, 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 right? like there 100% has to be something else, which is more like not only like AI for the sake of AI, because that kind of sucks, but like more authentic. Like for instance, when I go to X, this is why I like X. It just feels a lot more authentic. Like if someone like even sniffs a bit of AI slopness, they just like, I don't know, you get insulted or whatever in the comments. Maybe that's a way to get engagement too, but like people just don't like that stuff. Like it somehow stays out of my timeline. I don't notice any of that or much of that. I used to notice it before, where like, oh, we just killed blah blah blah, and then it'll be like this like very like sloppy kind of post. And I mean, X also has its pitfalls 100%, but LinkedIn is a lot more like, oh, okay, I see some good stuff sometimes on LinkedIn. Like I'll see some funny ones.
Yeah.
Like, I liked your one about my Mercedes
Oh,
just got towed. Here's what it taught me about B2B SaaS. Yeah, something like, you know, silly. I like those kind of posts.
Yeah. I'm just there's definitely gonna come something out. And
I think something will, and I don't know, like at the same time I think about this a lot. Like, is more automation like making that worse?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like a lot of people, like I know this is true for LinkedIn, they schedule their posts, they have a ghostwriter, or they have like this AI product they buy which writes their posts for them.
Yeah.
Like this is all happening, but like will these kinds of things just make posts worse and content worse?
So that's actually like an interesting point, because it's never been easier to create a post. Like you're one prompt away of having a ready post.
Yep.
And with an image, with hashtags and blah blah. And since so many people are jumping on that, and this isn't just for LinkedIn, like this is for every social media out there, I wonder if we're gonna reach a point where the social media we know as of today is simply just is just too like saturated with AI slop. And like some people might like it, like some people might be okay with, you know, this, I found this funny, I know it's AI, but I still get entertained. And then some people will completely be like, you know what, I can't be talking to another AI bot on
I think the thing is, it's like the Turing test. It's like, I think this has been known for a while, but it's like the dead internet theory, right? Like supposedly most of the content on the internet is just bots.
Yeah.
It's been like that for a while, people say, right? It's just like, now if you're a visitor on LinkedIn, let's say tomorrow, and LinkedIn fixes everything, supposedly they say that, right? And or like tomorrow a ChatGPT update comes out and writing becomes super nice, let's just say.
Yeah.
Will you care? Because like, how do you know? Like, if you can't distinguish right now, you can. That's the problem. Like, you can distinguish between AI written content and like someone being like, I don't know, human, right? But if tomorrow you can't tell, I don't know if that will happen. I assume it will. There are some companies working on that, right? But if that happens, then I don't know, like, will you like care or will you not care? I don't know.
But I think that's 100% like inevitable, that there will become a time where you can't tell the difference between AI written content and like human written content. And actually, like, same with videos, probably there will be a time, probably when we're still alive, where we can't actually tell the difference between something that is fake and something that is real. Before, it was like the AI had six fingers on their hands, but now that's fixed, and now you really gotta like look at
pay
it.
attention. Yep.
But there might be, I have this feeling that there might be two different separations of society, where one is completely like for it. They just wanna, you know, be entertained. They just wanna be home, you know, putting on their VR or whatever it is, you know, meeting their AI girlfriend, chatting with their AI friends.
Yep.
And they're totally cool with it. And then there will be another part where like maybe that's rebellious, or maybe the other one is.
I think right now itself, like, we're in a bubble in San Francisco, but
yeah,
outside this bubble, I think, I don't know, I read this online, but most people are not in support of AI. Like,
Yeah.
most people aren't. Like, I think the common argument for this is the data centers. People don't want data centers being built. They are against AI,
They're taking up
like
too much
development,
water.
all this thing. Yeah, taking up too much water, or like, why are we building this technology that can, be smarter than us or whatever, right? People are against it. So I think that like separation you're talking about already definitely exists. And I think it's not even 50-50. It's probably like 80-20, 70-30 maybe.
Because it's also, if like an analogy would be, some people want regular food or regular vegetables. Other people would like the organic version.
Yep.
Maybe they can't tell the difference, but the organic ones just feels better.
Yep.
But leading on to another point, which is interesting, people are against AI, or like there is a huge amount of people outside SF that is against AI. But on the other hand, there has never been so much, like people have never been able to get a hold of this much information this easily. You might, like one person say, well, internet is, you can find everything on internet, but if you just think about it, the best lawyer in the world is or is going to be an AI.
Yes.
The best accountant in the world is going to be an AI. And if you keep stepping up, like the reason why they are the best is because they have the knowledge of everything that already exists out there.
Yep.
But then you might ask the question, well, who are the best leaders then? Like, if a leader, let's say, like, if you want to go like to the highest, like the person leading a country, the president of a country, look, is that president actually, like, is an AI actually the best decision maker for a country because they don't have the moral, they're missing the mistakes a human can make.
I think in the current version of like the top models, let's say like GPT 5.6 and Fable and whatever, like AIs are terrible at it. And the reason is because if you think about it, I mean, they're using a lot of synthetic data and also whatever, I think they've already used more than the whole internet, right? Yeah. Way more than the whole internet, like is encompassed and compressed into that model. Basically, that's how it works, right? So the problem is that decision making of good leaders, like how that's done, how these things are kind of done, that's a very abstract thing, which very probably, like, I don't know, thousands of folks in the whole world are capable of.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a huge number, right? It's, I don't know, I would maybe put it at maximum 100,000.
Yeah.
It's probably even lower than that, but 100,000 people in this whole world have a good understanding of like making decisions, high stakes decisions, all these kinds of things, right? And if you're training on kind of the whole internet plus like coding and all these things, that knowledge doesn't necessarily translate to making the best decisions always, right? This is exactly why, like, if you notice over time, GPT, and Claude even, they're focused on making coding better because they want to solve that problem. But then GPT 4.0, which is an older model, is better at writing than the newest model because the thing they focused on made it worse at this other skill.
Yeah.
Right? So since they're spending all their time here, they're not spending their time on writing or decision making and all these things. I think though someone can definitely develop a model given you have the data of like, okay, how to best make decisions in high stakes situations or planning and all these kinds of things. I know a company, in fact, in our batch who's like, they're building a pretty interesting company. They're simulating a decision and what kind of effects it could have. And then based on that, trying to find the best decision to make given all these constraints and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's an interesting idea. I don't know how crazy it would work. To me, that kind of thing, I don't know if that works, but because to me, a lot of like leaders, even if you ask them why they made a decision, I don't know, a lot of times they will just say they don't even know.
Yeah.
They can't even express it. It's just something like, I don't know, from their learned experience plus a gut instinct at the time, right? Like they don't always rationally think through the problem.
Yeah.
So that's really hard. Like how do you encompass that in an AI?
Yeah, I wonder if, because just as you said, a model, like the previous ChatGPT models perhaps were better at writing versus the new ones are better at coding.
Yep.
Because they are trained to be better at coding. I wonder if in the future there will actually not be, how people are just saying like, I'm using Claude or I'm using ChatGPT. Maybe in the future, it actually, that's actually not a thing. Maybe each specific model is the thing, and I guess that's how that's possibly how it is now with like, these like law companies that they are specifically focused on, like every company, or not every company, but there are a bunch of companies that's going good just because they have built a model that is specifically tailored towards that industry.
That's because, I think that's because, like, like right now there's the Foundation Labs, OpenAI, Anthropic. On top of that are like infrastructure, like sandbox providers. And then like on top of that is app layer. App layer is your Harvey, Legora, us, we're an app layer company, like Whisperflow, like all of these companies are app layer companies. They're using the models, right? And that model is that model is help achieving a specific workflow, like a legal workflow or a sales workflow for us, exactly. Whatever it is. Now, the Foundation Labs are thinking, hey, we're already doing the very hard part, which is like training the model.
Yeah.
Why don't we start getting into the app layer? So OpenAI is doing the OpenAI deployment company. They created that maybe 2-3 months ago. They're trying to go to companies with FDEs and build their apps for them using OpenAI. Or Claude has some version of this too. Devin is doing this very well. Cursor and X, like SpaceX right now, SpaceX AI, they're doing this.
Yeah.
They're trying to do it with Grokbot and all these kinds of things. So they're trying to move into the app layer. The app layer people are scared now. They're like, wait, like we're using the models for a lot of
it.
Yeah, so it's like my whole product just a prompt, like shit. So I need to start doing something more sophisticated and better, because otherwise I'm gonna be like, I have no moat. Everyone's trying to build like some form of moat, so that's why these law companies like Harvey, for instance, are training their own models. Because I think Anthropic started trying to get into the legal space too. They were trying to build their like own product for this using their models.
Yeah.
So Harvey was like, okay, never mind. We need to do something. We need to get serious. And I think they just released something today, which was really good.
Today?
Yeah, I believe it was today, yeah.
All right, dude.
All right.
I appreciate you coming on. Like first guest.
Yeah, first of many, yeah.
First of many.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
Take care.